my involvement in the show is really a cool experience. Not something that I would thought had developed in my life. It just showed up one day, and I'm having a lot of fun doing the show. My motivation was to grow my business, which I take very seriously. I'm running a Class 8 truck. You know, I've spent a lot of time learning the system, learning what I need to be legal, you know, requirements, trying to figure out how I can do this the right way. And a lot of it was trial by error, or trial by fire. I made some mistakes and was tuned up fairly quickly by the Department of Transportation. So once I found out, you know, the steps that I needed to do to become legal and, you know, proficient at what I was doing, it kind of really made things a lot easier for me, and at that point, that's kind of where the show came in, and so I've had a great time, you know, building this company and having the opportunity to be involved in the show is making my company kind of grow in leaps and bounds, and I know all of us are you know, having some cool experiences, meeting some neat people, things that we might not have done, you know, had it not been for this. Let's see, what else? Some of the stuff we're hauling is, I don't know if I'd call it unshippable, really. I would say it's unusual, definitely, and probably some of it would not be things that I would normally do. Yeah. However, you know, if I was just doing things that I considered, you know, profitable, they might not be quite as interesting for the television show. So we do spend a lot of time kind of making sure that the things that we transport and how that whole thing goes are things that will be entertaining. You know, this is a television show for entertainment. It's not really a how-to manual. It's supposed to be fun and have a good time, and I'm certainly having a good time, and I know you guys are. We talk about it quite a bit, and we get to see each other once in a while and share stories.
So Jen, what's been the most unusual thing you've had to ship and that experience?
Well, it was probably that stuffed Pluto. I thought it was actually like a taxidermist, but I show up and it's like a giant stuffed animal. It was really weird, so I don't know who would want that.
What are you crying customer? Simpsons?
What? Oh yeah, we're the crying customer that his wife's in emergency, you know, C-section, and he's wanting me to take pictures, and it gets a little weird. So I get the weird customers always.
I don't know. I had quite.
Well, yeah, you did. I don't know how I would have reacted with that.
Yeah, I picked up some crystals, geode crystal rocks, basically, from a guy in Taos, New Mexico. He was a nutcase, and he went off on me like 30 seconds after my arrival. I think he was trying to create a new show called Ray Huck. Yeah, it was pretty wild. We do run into some crazy stuff.
Any questions anybody has? James?
Well, Mark, if you wouldn't mind moving your water bottle kind of out of
Oh,
the picture
sorry
there a
about
little bit. But otherwise, if everybody could kind of talk about how they got into to trucking or driving, what the background is, that kind of thing.
Well, I was a Teamster truck driver when I was in my 20s. I drove straight trucks around Seattle area or Washington State, and always had a big desire to drive the semis, and never got to do it. And after that, I got out of that and did lots of other things. I fished crab in Alaska, and I was a dive instructor in the South Pacific, and built houses, just, you know, all kinds of different things. But most recently, I was selling motorcycles, and when the economy changed, nobody was buying bikes. I couldn't make any money. I was on commission. I decided that, you know, I was going to work for myself, and I had a pickup truck. I decided to work that truck, and quickly realized that if I wanted to make any money, I was going to have to get into the game and do it the right way, in my opinion. Not everybody looks at it that way, but I do. And so I, you know, got my license again because I'd let it lapse, and kind of went down the road. And since I bought the Kenworth, it hasn't stopped moving. And you know, I feel fortunate to be involved in it. I think it's an amazing industry, and I'm kind of hoping that in some way, through this show, I can bring to light, you know, some of the things that really go on out there, some of the things that people have to deal with to have trucking businesses, and maybe some of the rules and regulations that are a little excessive, in my opinion. How every state is different, that blows my mind, how we can't just get all the states the same. Uniform rules, regulations, I wish that would change, I really do. It's hard to know every state's laws.
Yeah, so that's Roy too. Roy, do you want to take the question of background in trucking and driving and all that?
Oh, I just accidentally got into it, that's it. It was just an accident.
How long have you been driving? Or?
What, 5 years now?
Well, I know you're, me?
Yeah, do you have your CDL?
I do not have my CDL now. Okay, well, my family, my cousin rodeos, and she's, you know, they do cutting for a living, and so it helped transport the horses from point A to point B, and so I didn't do this for a living. I actually worked for the state of Texas. I did a lot of accounting work, and I ran into a couple, like, I went through a divorce, I went through a really hard time in my life, and I was really sick, so I quit working, and so I decided this isn't a way to make money and also see the country. I have no children, nothing to tie me down, so this was a way for me to get out there and experience something different besides sitting behind a desk.